Win, lose, draw.
Right, hello and welcome to episode 2 of the Win, Lose, Draw podcast. Today we're finishing the Premier League awards and we're going through most improved player, the best buy of the season and shithouse of the season. For most improved player, we're going to take a quick trip down memory lane because we recorded this on Saturday. Right, so most improved player. So this could be like someone who's kind of become a bit of a standout star. Or
someone who used to be shit, but now they're okay. I used to get that one quite a lot, Wimbledon.
Yeah, so I
got what you will.
I got most improved player in a few seasons, which upset me a bit because I just knew I wasn't going to be like a professional footballer. If you get most improved player or manager's son, if you get most improved player or manager's player of the season, you're not going to make it in the professional game, unfortunately. So if there are any kids watching this that have just won that, give up. Unfortunately, give up. Try tennis or running. Jake, what were your... So you've only got 2?
Yes, I've only got 2 for this one. So for me, I think it's another no-brainer. Like the transformation you see in Traore. Like he is my number 1 pick for this.
Yeah, the flying machine.
The next best thing I could come up with was Calvert-Lewin. He's come out as a striker. All of a sudden, he's actually scoring goals. Previous seasons, he's been pretty one-dimensional. But yeah, I think this season was a lot better. How about you guys?
I went for, so unlike another participant, I managed to get 3 players. I went for Traore as well because he's just defending against him, just like pace, power, just...
Yeah, well, so in these post-lockdown games, he has twice been the key player to Wolves making the breakthrough. I think against Villa and against Bournemouth, he was the reason that Wolves got the goals to go ahead. There's no way last season he would be the key to winning a game.
Yeah.
It's weird. He was like Wolves' answer to Jesus Navas. He could just run, basically.
Yeah,
but then there was no end product.
Walcott days, yeah.
Yeah, an early Walcott day. There's a lot of players that fit that category of all pace. And no, I think Lennon's harshly treated. I think he had a bit more than that. Simon, as a Tottenham fan, would probably.
Yeah, no, I think he did
Lennon
get a few goals.
Lennon was a tricky winger. He wanted all pace.
Yeah, tricky winger.
Yeah, but it's the final ball that just let him down every time. I could be wrong, but from what I remember,
every time when he put on an England shirt, I would agree. For Tottenham, I think he was solid.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't watch Tottenham as a kid. They're rubbish. So.
Yeah, fair.
Still are.
And then for my second one, I went for Danny Ings because he's someone who's kind of been neglected. And okay, maybe he's not most improved because he's always been a good player, but I think he's been obviously injury. Yeah, he's really stepped up this season. And I think he got 17, 18 goals. My final one, I went for Leicester's Soyuncu.
Yeah.
He's
come out of nowhere.
Yeah, he's come out of nowhere. And
it was, it
was a bit of a slow start, I think, but he's become kind of key to that Leicester defence.
Was he a new buy this season, or?
So yeah, they sold Maguire for 80 million, and then out of nowhere, they just had this ready-made replacement that's arguably better than Maguire.
Yeah, so he was there last season.
He was there last season, yeah. So
he appeared 6 times.
Yeah,
this season he's just stepped up to the plate.
Yeah, that's a really good shout, actually.
He's also in the shout with the haircut category later on, but come to that.
So I had 2 of those. I had Traore, like I said. He's gone from being that player that's just, he's going to give your fullback a bit of a nightmare, but he's not going to actually impact the game. To now he's impacting games. Almost, you see him come on and he'll impact it anywhere. Like he's running on the wings. He's cutting in central.
And his crossing's actually good.
I can't believe how much his end product has improved. Like his crossing, his cross for the Jimenez goal against Bournemouth was...
I'll pack the tears.
Yeah, okay. But it was a top level cross. It was well attacked as well by Jimenez. And those two together, they've got the most. Their link up has been a little bit like Fraser and Wilson last season. They are ahead, and I think they're pretty close to getting the Shearer and Sutton record. So I think he's linked up well with Jimenez, and he's just actually dominated teams when he's come on. He's been like the reason Wolves have got goals. Another one I went for was Danny Ings. Got his big move to Liverpool. Didn't really work out. He did his ACL, so he's not had the best luck. But then he stepped up, 18 goals this season. And the final one I've gone for was Nick Pope. We
Yeah.
have discussed
Yeah.
I wouldn't say he's improved.
I think to
He's
step
always
up,
been good.
my thoughts of improving was in an England setup. Like, I think of him as, I'd say he's our number one currently, which is we've had this argument.
Yeah.
I'd say he's our number one when probably he was our number 3 at the start of the season.
But is that because of the downfall of the other keepers?
Yeah, I
And
think
then
that's
also,
probably fair.
if I'm not mistaken, this is meant to be about the Premier League, not
Yeah, but
England.
it's by his performances in the Premier League. It's not just.
Yeah,
We've not had any England games.
Yeah, fair point. No, I can see where you come from, but I'd say he's always been good.
So, after watching that back, who's your pick for most improved?
Traore, every day.
Yeah, it's got to be Traore for me as well.
Yeah, I'm going.
All agreed? Okay.
Yeah.
Adama Traore, you are the win, lose, draw.
I thought you were going to say you're the weakest link.
It felt like it. I nearly did.
All right, Anne.
Goodbye.
Is that her name?
And Robinson.
Anne Robinson.
Robbie's.
Anne Robinson. Oh, big fan of that, actually.
That's a future feature.
Congratulations. Yeah. Yeah, we're off track then with Anne Robinson. Adama Traore is the win, lose, draw most improved player.
And his certificate will be in the post.
Right. So number 5, we've got best buy of the season. So Simon, what are you 3?
Yeah, my 3. Definitely remembered that was a category. Actually,
You don't what?
Don't have it.
no, I must have missed it when I typed
Wow.
it out.
Professional here.
Right.
Okay, off the top of my head, best buy. Okay, let's go. Best buy. I'm going to go for Pulisic, number 1. Although he's not really the seasonal, they purchased him a while ago, but it's only
He joined this season,
because
technically.
of the transfer ban, yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So we'll allow it.
And then I'm also going to go for Bruno Fernandes at Man United. And I'm also going to go for... Can't think of one. There hasn't actually been that many good buys this season.
No, I did look, and in the summer, there's hardly any. I think Bruno Fernandes came in January. He's probably up there. He's one of my picks, Bruno Fernandes. I mean, Deus picked 2 last one,
Yeah.
so you can always just go with 2.
I'll go 2.
No. Okay, yeah,
Alright,
sorry.
So Deus, what were your 3?
So we've got Bruno Fernandes, number 1. I've got David Luiz, but that was more of best sell than best buy.
We can have a best transfer, best deal.
Best transfer out of a team.
Yeah, like it's done well for Chelsea and horrible for Arsenal. And for me, that's beautiful to see. So it's one of the best buys. And then if I'm right in saying Henderson was loan, if you're counting loanees this season, I'm going to include him.
Okay, so you've really pushed the boundaries for best buy.
Mhm.
But
Yeah, they're paying their wages. So.
but you've come here with 3, so I'll take it. Better than Simon, but then also better than your most improved. So I can technically come here with 4 because I did cross one out and add another. So Bruno Fernandes I went for, which he came in January. I originally looked all in the summer. I looked at a list and most teams didn't buy anyone this year, basically.
Yeah, it's been pretty quiet.
So Bruno Fernandes came in January. The other one I was tempted with, but he's just not quite done enough, is Lo Celso. But I really like him.
Yeah, he crossed my mind just now.
I really like him. I've watched a couple of Tottenham games this season. And he's like fleeting moments of pure class, and then that's about it.
Yeah, but
Whereas I think he'll
give him a bit of time.
Definitely. Saint Maximin was one for me.
Oh, of course, yeah.
So he's had a solid season. Obviously, we had him in the
Young
Most
player.
improved, was it?
we had him in the young player, didn't we? Yeah.
Oh, okay.
He was only 16.5 million.
David Luiz
Which-
was 8 though, so
They sold David Luiz for 8, which
Yeah.
is still a rip-off.
exactly.
So yeah, true. Yeah, they've done well. The other one I was going to put Neil Maupay, who was again 16 million, has basically just about edged it, probably keeping Brighton up. Obviously, there's a
Yeah.
few good players there, like that Trossard is good for Brighton.
Yeah, he looks good.
He was similar as well, similar price.
And then they got Aaron Moy as well, didn't they?
They did.
think-
Aaron
well, I
Moy,
Because he's at
Not-
Huddersfield.
not for much either.
Yeah. And he's decent.
I think Brighton have had some good signings. Obviously, they've been amongst it in relegation the whole time, but they're probably going to stay up, and those players have done quite well. And then the other one I had was Danny Ings, who it feels like I just forget that
He was
Was
bought
it
in the
first?
season.
Yeah, it was the beginning of the
exactly.
season.
Really?
I feel
Oh,
like
wow.
he's been at Southampton
I
for
think
years.
I
Like
assumed
maybe
he was
3.
injured for ages, which he was, but
Did he go on loan?
Because he went to Liverpool, didn't he? And then they loaned him back to them, or something like that. And then they sold him this season, something like that.
Yeah, actually, yeah, you're right. Yeah.
So was he on loan at Southampton
For a bit,
last
I think.
season, and then came on? I'm not sure. But either way, he's a signing this season.
Yeah, so Liverpool had him. Then last season they loaned him out to Southampton. Then this season they sold him to
Okay.
Southampton.
So technically, he's a by this season. He's done the business for Southampton. We've discussed him in the last episode. I think anyone who's cost, I think he was 20 million for Danny Ings, and he scored 18
Bargain.
goals.
That's cheap.
Which-
Solid return.
Nearly £1 million a goal, which I take, to be honest, because David Luiz is on a rate of £1 million per penalty conceded. There's not much more to say on Ings. I think 20 million, he scored 18 goals.
Yeah, he's a good shout, to be fair. Who else have we got? So I'll go with David Luiz. I haven't got anything on him. I just know he's a shocking footballer now. And obviously, he's had his time. He's done well at Chelsea. Went to PSG, kind of did okay. Came back to Chelsea. We bought him for less than we sold him, so that's good business. And then the best business in this whole saga is the 8 million to Arsenal. And then you see him give away, I can't remember who it was against now, the one match where he came on as sub in the first half, and within like 24 minutes he's got a red card and conceded.
Brighton, yeah.
Made a crucial error for the goal as well, giving away a penalty. It's just a bargain.
Yeah, I saw he's given away more penalties, and he's made more errors leading to goals for Arsenal than he has for Chelsea, and he's played like a quarter of the games.
Yeah. At Chelsea, he's got like no penalties against him. Yeah, so that's David. Obviously, we've spoken about Henderson in the previous episode, and I think if you're going to count him as he's probably pushing the edges a bit, being a loanee. But I think he's done enough business in that goal for me to be up there as a contender for this.
Yeah, I think that's fair. I think, like we've mentioned him in goalkeeper of the season, and you had him for player of the season, or top 3 at least. So that shows how much you love him.
He's just been awesome this
He
season.
has been very good.
He's not going to shag you, mate.
Wow. Dean, if you're listening.
I imagine he is.
Obviously. What about Simon's picks?
Yeah, so Simon.
If you can remember them.
Yeah, of course. I only picked them 5 minutes ago, so I hope so. Pulisic. I thought this is because the purchase was originally ages ago, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was like was it one of those
from Dortmund?
Like almost like a January one that was like he's gonna stay for the rest of the season.
Yeah, I think that's what it was. Yeah, at the time I thought it was a really good purchase, and I think it's taken him a while to kind of get used to Premier League.
We bought him last season.
Yeah,
that was Chelsea, that is, and then they loaned him out for the rest of the season. That was left.
Back to Dortmund, wasn't it?
I'd count that as a transfer this year, a bit like when Liverpool did similar with Keita. Obviously, Keita's not been good enough to be anywhere near these best buys.
Yeah, shock.
That one's for you, Harris. So yeah,
give him time. Give him time, and Keita will do bits. Apparently, that's what I hear anyway.
Quick look at Pulis's stats here.
Let's go stats corner.
Hopping into stats corner, so he's got
Robbie
8 goals, 2 assists in 21 appearances. So he's not played. He's not started every game. He's already missed 12 games of the season. I know he's kind of been rotated a lot. Pedro has played quite a lot throughout the year, almost as a bit of a. Pedro and Willian have felt like a bit of the experience in Chelsea's side, I think.
Yeah, Willian's
had a really good year.
As of recently, he's doing really good. But I think he's always someone that Chelsea have been able to rely upon. Like when Hazard was out of form, he was the one stepping up.
Agreed. But yeah, Pulisic, 8 goals, 2 assists.
And how old is he?
21. He is 21. So I've got St Maximin. We kind of touched on him. I think for the price, 16.5 million, he's making, especially the second half of the season post-lockdown, he's making quite a big impact for Newcastle. I think it'll be interesting. I saw for their next game, I can't remember who it's against, Almiron and St Maximin are both unlikely to start, and I think that could be quite big for them. I think they're two
Who's
quite
that
key
against,
players. I can't remember who they're playing, so I think that could be quite a good test of how important St Maximin's been, especially breaking down defences. He's been a big part in.
Do you think he'll stay at Newcastle long, or do you think someone's going to come in for him?
It depends with their takeover, I think.
Oh yeah, of course.
I think if that goes through and they
Finally.
Yeah, I know. Part of me does feel sorry for Newcastle fans that they've put up with Mike Ashley for so long. They've had all these
He's
sorts
getting
of
teased, yeah. No.
and then every time that little excitement ignites, someone pours a big Sports Direct mug over it. And I do feel bad for Newcastle. Yeah, so it's the game against City, so really I don't think it matters. But then lost to Southampton, you never know.
Yeah.
So finally we got who I imagine we probably all agree with is top pick, Bruno Fernandes.
Yeah.
So obviously he came in January. It was looking like he'd go to Tottenham at one point, and United got there in the end. Mourinho has said that he's not bothered because he's got the
He's definitely bothered.
He's
triggered.
100% bothered.
He is triggered. Imagine him replacing Eriksen. That would have been so nice.
Yeah, he's made a much better start than Lo Celso.
Mm.
I don't know how the age difference is between them. I think Bruno Fernandes looks a bit
Only like
older
20.
than him.
I think he's
I
only
don't think he's very
24
old,
or something like that. For me, like you just look at how he plays the game. He's always going forwards, and just he is literally the perfect replacement for Eriksen if Tottenham had got him. Like playing that creative football in the final third that wasn't to be, and he's turned around Man U's.
He's made such a difference to their midfield.
They look so much more positive now.
Kind of crying out for already.
So this is his Premier League record since he's joined Man United.
But it's absolutely disgusting.
9 games, 6 goals, 5 assists.
Yeah, there you go.
That's player of the season form. If he wasn't,
I think I saw a stat that since he's joined, he's been involved in more goals than anyone else in the top leagues of Europe.
That goes to show. It's weird seeing a Man United player hit the ground running. Recently, they've made lots of big signings that haven't done that. They've maybe like Fred, Sanchez,
Pogba. Kind of obviously his quality.
Pogba in and out. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
So
what sounded like Sinas.
So what do you think of what do you think Man United's midfield? Obviously, Pogba and Fernandes are both reasonably attacking. That's probably a bit risky to have. Do you think they're gonna get they need someone like a Fred or McTominay in there to balance it out a bit?
I think McTominay's good enough to step into that, but I think when Bruno and Pogba play together, they're so good at keeping the ball anyway, and so good working together that I can't think of a time that I've seen them get counter-attacked.
Agreed, and I think it would almost be like a classic Football Manager tactic of you just whacking that third midfielder against the big teams.
Thinking about it, they do use Nemanja Matic, don't they?
They have been since post-lockdown, yeah.
And he is very good at breaking up the play.
I've seen a lot of people's especially if United, they're looking at getting Sancho.
Yeah, but do they really need him? Because they've got Greenwood, Rashford, Martial.
I think if they want to be pushing for a title,
they need him.
Yeah. I suppose Greenwood's only 18 as well, isn't he?
That was Simon with his Tottenham mentality there. Top four's fine.
We've signed one person this season. That'll do. Yeah.
It's all right. Spending 15 million a year on your manager, it's fine. Enough of that attack on Tottenham. Yeah. What are we thinking? I mean, we've kind of rushed through these, but there's not a great deal today. It's got to be Bruno for me. We've just seen
Bruno.
Those stats are player of the season form. If you think times that by 3, that's 18 goals and 15 assists.
It's good maths there, Robbie.
In fact, and that's only 27 games, so technically times that by 4, and that is ridiculous.
Maths.
Yeah.
Couldn't do the times 4 though. clearly.
24 goals and 20 assists, all right? Which is exactly what Henry got, as that is when he broke the assist record. 24 goals and 20 assists. I know last podcast I said 25 goals. So I just want to...
Oh,
I checked my stats after,
Fake
but
news.
It's not really acceptable, is it, Robbie? Should be doing it beforehand.
it's all about the raw passion for football here. It's not about all the
Stats.
nitty details, yeah. Oh no, we do love the stats, but we will get them wrong sometimes. Look, win, draw, lose, or win, lose, draw. We get that wrong too.
Anyway, moving on.
Moving on to...
This is the one I've been waiting for.
This is the one, and I've got some interesting...
I've got this one.
Yeah, let's hope Simon didn't send this one off the list. Shithouse of the year. So
Please go
this
ahead.
is for all-round shithousery. So
Nice. I enjoyed
be-
researching this one.
it could be a shithouse player. It could be someone who's done a shithouse moment.
Yeah, I've got shithouse moments.
I've got
Yeah.
shithouse moment.
And they're not necessarily on the pitch as well.
I've got shithouse. Yeah, one of mine's not even a player.
Same.
Same.
Oh, okay. We could all be agreed. There's two things that have not been players and have been big shithouses this season. Simon, shithouse of the year. Who have you gone for?
Just the year. My third choice one was the moment Eric Dyer went into the stands,
Oh,
crawling up with his big legs to defend his brother, I think, or something.
Yeah, I believe it was his brother.
I mean, fair enough, but yeah, just you don't see that very often, do you? Just storming up the stands.
It was an odd one. So I think, was it against Norwich? Was it?
Yeah, I don't think it was.
It
City.
might not have been. I don't think it was Premier League. Oh, it might have been.
Oh, maybe it wasn't.
No,
I think it was
FA
FA Cup.
Cup
was
replay,
support.
but still,
Yeah.
that's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
it
would
was
like to argue, though, if he's going to stick up for his brother, does that make him a shithouse?
No, no, it doesn't. I suppose it doesn't. You got
I
a
think
point.
it was an odd moment, but I think
odd moment,
and-
but not shit. So, yeah. Okay.
No, and although have you seen the clip of it where the guys you can see whoever it was, the guy's shouting at him as soon as he sees Eric put his long legs over that first chair.
Does he do a runner?
He pegs it. He just disappears into the crowd and through behind the concourse, which
Fair play.
yeah, I think I'd run if Eric Dyer was climbing chairs frantically towards me.
Especially with his new haircut, but that's something else.
Especially, yeah, he looks hard.
I look forward to this later on.
I'll put a picture down there. What are your other moments, Simon?
I've got another Tottenham-related one here, which I'm sure you're grateful for. Mourinho against City, which we won the game 2-0. But there's a bit where it's become a bit of a meme when I think the assistant spots that there should be a yellow card against City. And he kind of jokes about Mourinho, oh, look, yeah, got there. And then Mourinho's just like, bam.
Yeah.
And then he
That's
His
just
assistant manager like tells him, didn't he? He's like, and he's like, oh.
It's how
storms up the forest official and just like
Gives him an
absolutely loses
earful.
it.
yeah. So
Yeah.
I was
It's a transition. It's just like
I was there for that game, and we kind of just saw Mourinho going mental. But then when we saw it back, like after the game, I just love how he calmly puts his water bottle down and then just sprints and goes mental.
Yeah.
Like he's heard it, but then he's calmly put his bottle down. Like he's like, I'm going to kick off as soon as this bottle's safe.
yeah.
As soon as I put this placed nicely, that fourth official's
Yeah.
having it. Yeah,
Jose is good at being
That's a good
shithouse.
one.
He is. In
He's
terms
got a lot
of
of
managers,
moments
One
over
of the-
the years,
he's
yeah.
one of the kings of it, I'd say.
yeah, definitely.
He shithoused Wenger for about 10 years. He basically single-handedly memed Wenger.
I do
Yeah,
love Jose.
You can say that, yeah.
I think Jose's worth a shout.
It's like the rise of Arsenal fan TV is correlated with the shithousery of Mourinho.
It's been toned down recently. I think he needs to win a Premier League again, just so he can really.
He definitely needs to win something,
Yes.
yeah.
It's getting to the point of bitter old man.
Yeah. Old man yells at cloud kind of thing.
Yeah, but then he's at Tottenham, so to win anything.
Yeah,
in there.
It's a bit like immovable
Although-
object meets unstoppable force.
So what's your third one?
Third one, I think you might have this as well. It's quite a recent one. Roy Keane imploding on Sky
Oh, that was class. Yeah.
Following the first half performance of David De Gea, and he said, "I am sick to death of this keeper," and absolutely tore him apart.
Yeah,
And when
that's
it's
good.
when he was saying, if the keeper did that in front of me, I'd swing for him.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. We were just discussing Old Man Yells at Clouds.
Yeah, it was
He
weird
is-
because
he is
it
the
was
king
like
of it.
he had been in lockdown for too long, and he'd just been building up, and suddenly all this Roy Keenness was unleashed at half time, and it was the fine line between, is he acting or is this real? Is that what am I watching?
Yeah.
But whatever
It
it
was
was, it was
quite
great
surreal.
entertainment.
Yeah, it's great entertainment. I think sometimes I find Roy Keane really irritating, almost like he's being grumpy for grumpy's sake. But then there's
Exactly,
times where
yeah.
it's just pure gold like that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And to be honest, De Gea had it coming. He'd been poor for
yeah.
He'd been poor.
He had a point.
Deus, what were your three?
Okay, so I've only actually got two. One of them is very recent.
Okay.
So it's regarding the Guard of Honor, and I've gone for Bernardo Silva because he just straight up didn't clap. And I rate that.
Yeah, I was watching that, and I was watching this on the clapping, and it was very like.
He didn't even clap. He
But
just
no,
stood
I
there.
missed that bit.
He just stood there, like with his hands by his side, and then as they were walking past, he just took a drink of whatever he was having, and just watched them go past. It's like, that's class.
Yeah,
No respect at all. Got to be.
Yeah, right there.
And then my second one is what you didn't say it, Simon, which I was surprised at. So I'm going to go. I think Robbie might have this. It's VAR.
Yep.
It
just
So,
in general.
I've
just
got
the decisions, like mate.
I've got
the big
VAR
moment
/
I've got.
handball rule. So I
Yeah,
think
Yeah.
we can get, we'll do VAR and we're getting to handball for me.
So
Okay.
the specific moment I'm going to draw respect to is Bournemouth versus Burnley, which Robbie will know well.
Yes.
Is
Yeah,
it
carry on?
1-1 at the time? It was 1-0 at the time. It comes. Wait, there's two incidents in that game, isn't there?
So the big one was Burnley do a deep cross from the left, and it kind of
Yeah.
comes over everyone. Adam Smith kind of gets to it, and I'd say it hits him
Like
here.
here.
Yeah, I think there is probably fair. It hits him about here, and then Bournemouth, he gets it clear. Bournemouth go up the other end with a counter attack.
Pace and attack. Pace and
with
attack.
pace and attack, which is something they've not seen much this season. So we're like, finally, we're looking good. We've counter attacked. We've got a goal. We're back in the game, and we score. I can't remember who scored. I want to say it was Josh King. It might have been Harry Wilson. And a minute later, after we've celebrated our goal, VAR has brought it back and decided that this is a handball, and but get rid of Bournemouth's goal, give Burnley a penalty. So not only have we got back in the game, we are further behind now.
Yeah,
And that was
I'm not sure if it's the same game, but it was another Adam Smith moment. I think it might have been against Man U, actually saying that, where he literally chests it. Well, no, he didn't chest it. It like comes down the side of his arm, like here, and it's like last season. It's never a foul, but this season it's a foul.
yeah.
And
Yeah.
there's been so many moments of that. It's like
It's the one that gets me is the Lucas Moura one the other day, where he's on the ground. He's just been
fouled.
Just been
There was
fouled, yeah.
3 Sheffield United players around him. He'd been sandwiched. 2 of them had fouled him, I'd say. And because of that, he's fallen on the floor. And I still don't think it hit his hand. Like, not his hand, his arm. It hits because he's going like sliding, and it hits him like there.
But even
back
if-
of his shoulder.
even
Like,
if it
back
did
of his
hit
shoulder,
hands,
arguably, if anything, like here. But he's slid like this. He's literally sliding on the floor
yeah.
on his face, and it's hit him. Someone slid
awful.
Kane in from that. Kane scored,
Yeah, that was it.
and how? So not only was he fouled, and instead they've just given Sheffield United a free kick for handball and just got rid of Tottenham's goal.
Yeah, I haven't seen that one. Sounds pretty similar to West Ham's one
Yeah, Antonio.
a few days ago, where he's literally
Souček.
he's
Antonio
on
was
the
led
floor.
on the floor.
Yeah, and like the argument is that he's offside, blocking the keeper's view, but he's lying on the floor.
Yeah.
It doesn't really make much sense. So VAR has just single-handedly made everyone get triggered at some point in the season.
Yeah, I think even if remembering back from earlier in the season, I remember Chelsea had a goal disallowed for an offside early in the build-up.
And then it goes back.
It probably it was I want to say 90 seconds.
And then
before the
thing
goal.
Is, with this though, that similar thing happened, but with Liverpool, but because I can't remember the reason now.
Yeah.
Because it wasn't directly influential of it. Yeah, because it wasn't directly influencing the play, it doesn't count towards the VAR check.
Which it was, because I remember that goal because Van Dijk.
He does a diagonal, didn't he?
He does it basically a diagonal into the box. Who Lallana controls it and Mane finishes it. Whereas the Chelsea one, there was probably 8 or 9 passes.
Yeah.
Maybe more.
And apparently the rule is 10 passes or less
that
they check.
Which is frustrating. And I can't think of any to hand, but I've seen a few where, obviously a little bit biased against Bournemouth, I've seen was that a foul in the build up, and it's just not been given. It's frustrating. But that's the thing, is it's not completely the technology, it's the people looking at the TVs and the rules currently. The handball rule, which is part of our VAR, is ridiculous at the moment. They've changed it and they've made it so much worse for the game, but mainly because there's so much scrutiny on it with VAR. Whereas ball to hand's not a thing anymore. They've basically scrapped that.
Yeah,
which
VAR is a foul or whatever now.
Yeah,
but then if you switch it, because it rules out goals, but if the ball touches someone's hand in the box, that's not always given.
No.
So you can't do both, one way and not the other.
Yeah,
surely you just do both.
And it's stopping goals. Surely you want rules. Most rules that have been made, obviously 92 when the Premier League started, the big change they had was they got rid of the back pass rule where keepers could pick it up. Yeah. And from there, a lot of rules are always let's try and make the game more exciting. And this has just made it rubbish.
A mess,
yeah. And I think that's the thing, is handball needs to be looked at. Ball to hand needs to come back, because now there's VAR. Let whoever's in the Stockley Park judge is that ball to hand.
That's what I
or let the ref go to the board.
Yeah,
I thought when they brought it in, I thought, this is great, because the referee somewhere will be able to slow everything down, look at it, and make a judgment as a referee. But now it's ridiculous.
And then when it's the clear and obvious, it can only be overturned if it's clear and obvious. If it needs to be changed, change it.
Yeah, I think they've got a lot of fine tuning for VAR, and they need to basically overhaul the handball rule.
Yeah. What's yours then, Robbie?
So VAR/handball was one of them.
Yeah.
Joe Gomez was number 2, shithouse.
With
Sterling, yeah. So he, in the Liverpool-Man City game at the start of the year, he did. I find it I've seen a few players do it. It's one of those things that happens. So 2 players sprinting out towards the touchline or towards the goal line, and the player who's behind just gives them a little nudge, and usually sends them over the hoardings. But it's dangerous play. I'd say it should be a booking. And Sterling's got a bit upset from it. Liverpool won the game, so Liverpool fans and social media have just said he's crying, basically. Gomez has got in his face as well, which, if someone's getting upset, he's in a rival team, fair. And then Sterling, 2 days later, has really kicked off in the England camp and scratched him. He triggered him. Although it was a bit naughty from Gomez, he's really rattled Sterling, who Gomez won the league, but then Sterling annihilated him. Yeah. So, but that could be an ongoing one. As long as they've made up for England and we're winning the Euros, I'm all good. Final shithouse nomination. I've gone one that I'm a bit biased and a little bit passionate about.
Mhm.
I'm also torn whether this was a shithouse move or not. But I've gone for Ryan Fraser.
That's a very niche shithouse move.
Is it?
It is a shithouse move.
It's
Yeah,
a
it
shithouse
is.
move. Oh,
But it's been done before.
Yeah.
yeah, it's been
And
done
worse.
before, but like,
It ain't
it's
no
just.
Adebayor.
Oh, no, it's not. But the way it's gone, I know. I get like the contract was literally sort of 30th of June. I get that, and the way the season's gone is we've got a few more games left. But at least, but then he's not tried all
mean-
season.
Because of lockdown as well. It's
So
kind
I
of
think-
like, oh, just stay with us till the end of the season.
Yeah, like
It's kind of like,
I get that
Yeah.
maybe he's got a move lined up, maybe his agent. So what I read recently that this year, I think in the last summer, he got rid of his long-time agent that he'd had all through Aberdeen, and he's got a new one. He's gone to like a management company. So whether they've
They're probably
sorted
saying that he can
something
get him
out,
big money or something.
yeah. Which after his performance the season before, he's probably can get, especially on a free transfer like we saw with Defoe. Like we gave him like a 6 million signing on fee. If Fraser can get similar, that's a big move for him and his in general.
I think he's inhibited himself by doing what he's done, because I think a lot of the good managers, at least, they look at the character of the player, and
Yeah.
that kind of shows what kind of person he is.
Yeah,
Like Bournemouth have done quite a lot for him, and I'm sure like they'd agree that he's done a lot for the club as well. But like just to see out an extra month is that
exactly.
really an issue?
And if
Yeah.
you put in some top effort, because a lot of clubs are looking for bargain now, because obviously the financial situation. If he puts in all that effort, plays really well for Bournemouth the last few games of the season, okay, he might still go down. He's more likely to get snapped up, isn't he?
Well, he'll get snapped up regardless.
Oh,
It's just
yeah.
but it's the
get
caliber
more.
of team. Like
Exactly,
realistically, end of last season, or even last January,
Being linked with Arsenal.
linked with Arsenal, linked with possibly Liverpool, Tottenham,
But now I can
Now-
see maybe West Ham.
West Ham if they stay up, Everton.
Everton,
maybe.
Everton. He's got Everton written over.
He's a proper Everton signing in there. But then
Yeah.
he's also like, he is a good player. And like you saw, he got second in assists last
Yeah.
season behind De Bruyne. It's like he's a bargain for someone. Maybe, is he going to do this again if he gets a better option? Maybe, that's the thing. So it sounds like apparently to join Bournemouth when Bournemouth were in League One, he did similar to Aberdeen. Just ran his contract down. I know
Yeah.
Bournemouth had to pay, I think it was about 150,000, 200,000, which is a bargain after the
No.
years. But
Yeah.
then it's not, because we're not actually getting any money back from him.
But then
Obviously,
you got the performances
his
out of him.
output, his performance last season, earned that back comfortably. But that's the thing, is like he's been at the club. I'd get it if he was like, kind of like, say, Jordan Ibe situation. Different player, but like if Jordan Ibe doing it, I'm not that bothered. It's not, for whatever reason, it's not worked. He needs a new lease of life. He'll just leave, and hopefully he'll find a club, probably Championship. Maybe someone will snap him up. Probably, I think he wants to stay in London by the sounds of it. But then Fraser's been with us 8 years.
8 years.
Yeah.
Wow.
But
We bought
maybe
him
that's
one
a
for
part of
Scottish
why.
League. Eddie Howe used to drive him to training.
I've got a Ryan Fraser fact for you. When he moved down to Bournemouth, he bought himself a dog.
He did buy himself
Great
a dog.
input.
Yeah,
Great input.
he did, as because he was lonely. He bought himself a dog, and
Yeah, I remember
didn't-
reading that article.
his
Did Bournemouth pay for cooking lessons or something like that?
Eddie House. I don't know if Bournemouth paid for him, but Eddie House set them up because he couldn't. His
Okay.
diet was like pizzas and stuff. Because he was like 19, 20, destroying the Scottish League for Aberdeen, but eating like whatever he wanted.
Yeah.
I remember though. So he was like, I think Eddie Howe's put in a lot of work with him, and it's not like he's been a player that's dragged Bournemouth up the leagues. Championship, he wasn't a mainstay. Like Pugh and Ritchie were on the wings. He was like our other winger that was quite strong. First season in the Premier League, he was on loan at Ipswich, which I think helped him become a better player a lot. He kind of burst onto the scene when we beat Liverpool 4-3. I think he got two assists and he came on at half time. Yeah, I think it's just left a bitter taste with Bournemouth fans. I know a lot are a lot more angry than I am. I'm gutted that he's gone like he has. I feel like
Sorry,
I don't think that's very politically correct, is it?
did you want that? It sounds like you don't want it.
that is a beautiful man in the background of that, though.
Yeah. Simon Francis.
I've not actually been as harsh on Fraser as I thought I was going to be, because I don't feel like that strongly about it, really. But he has mugged us over. He's mugged Bournemouth over completely. He's mugged Eddie Howe over.
It was clear it was going to happen. Like,
It was always clear it's going to happen. And it was like in January, him coming out with an article saying he's not been playing for the team. He's going to try harder and play for the badge, play for the supporters, and then didn't. And then just left.
I think he did for like a game, didn't he? And then
he gave it a go for a game. But it's annoying because we're clearly not better off without him, without his assists. And Callum Wilson has decided that he didn't want any more.
he's doing the same thing, isn't he? He doesn't want to be there by the looks of it.
Yeah, to be honest, I think when it comes to Bournemouth, if and more likely when they go down, who do you think's going to leave, like realistically? Because it won't be a mass exodus. Like Bournemouth won't.
No, I think Wilson will be, from what I can tell, like his attitude looks like he wants to leave. He's not playing for the club. If someone's going to pay big money, I could see Brooksy going because he's quality. But
yeah, I think Brooks' injury almost might play in Bournemouth's favour, where he might need another season to get back. But then so many teams could think, well, Bournemouth relegated, he's a bargain. If we got him for 10 million, even if someone goes, all right, 15, you've
still
relegated, it's still a bargain for a player that they could probably sell on for 30, 40.
Yeah.
With two good years in the Premier League, and he'll be...
I think there's one person who's definitely going there if you go down.
I think that's Nathan Ake.
Yeah.
Yeah.
100%. He's probably going to go, like, if you stay up, to be honest.
Even if I think
big money is coming his way.
This is the last season in a Bournemouth shirt, and which is upsetting. He is by far the best player I've seen in a Bournemouth shirt.
Oof. By
a long way.
What about Mark Pugh?
I do love Mark Pugh. No. Nathan Ake is like, he's obviously, there's been some good players throughout the years that have played for Bournemouth and then done good things, more often on loan. So to actually own one, but yeah, Nathan Ake is just quality, and it's not really showing because we've got such a leaky defence. And I feel bad because, like we've discussed in the last podcast, Ramsdale's been really good this season. Ake is one of our best players. Well, is our best player, I'd say. But we've got one of the worst defences in the league.
Yeah, it doesn't show.
But yeah, I think Ake will go, and I'm okay. I'll be sad, but I'm okay. I'm okay with it. Like
this has turned into AFCB
This has turned into me crying about Bournemouth.
So switching the play back to what we're meant to be on.
Switching the play back, I like that. So that's all the shithouses. Who are we going for? Personally, VAR/handball, I think.
Yeah. If we're going to count a like, it's not really a person, well, kind of a person, but I'm going to say VAR.
VAR.
If that counts, yeah.
Yeah, Stockley Park. Simon, do you agree?
I think, yeah, in the grand scheme of things, it has.
Just think about the amount of people that VAR triggered.
Yeah.
Every team, without remorse, just triggered everyone. I'd quite liked David Moyes' interview after the Antonio offside, where he basically was like, VAR has never given West Ham a good decision. Yeah, so Stockley Park, you've got a Shithouse of the Year award from Win, Lose, Draw in the post.
Just going to do a Bernardo Silva and not clap.
I'm not clapping for that. I'm just going to have some more drink. So that was episode 2 of the Win, Lose, Draw podcast. Part 2 of the Premier League awards. We've got Most Improved, Best Buy, and Shithouse of the Year. Another good podcast done. How do you feel, boys?
Yeah, enjoyed that once again.
Good.
Enjoying it.
Yeah, it's been lovely stuff. So if you did enjoy that, thank you very much for watching, and please like and subscribe. Thanks for watching.